Hi, Janelle here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. Take a deep breath with me. So let's just count in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 4. And you can breathe out of your mouth. Let's do it one more time. So hopefully that feels good. Do that throughout the day. Just take breaks, take deep breaths, and if you can get out in the fresh air, that is even better for taking your deep breaths. If you are new, thank you for coming. Thank you for arriving, showing up here on this channel. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. If everyone could like, subscribe, hit the bell button, comment down below. I love your comments. And also check out my description down below. I have my link wall, which links you to all of my links. It just makes it simpler. My website, signing up for my newsletter, my referrals to different programs that I recommend, to Mountain Rose Herb, which I think has great bulk herbs, and to my books on Amazon, working with me. Everything is in that link wall. But sometimes I talk about something specific in a video, and that I will just put in the description down below, and usually linking over to Amazon to get that item if you want to work with that item. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips, things that I've learned and have helped me in my journey being gluten-free. And my children are also gluten-free. We pretty much kind of made the family that way because although we do not have formal diagnosis, I have the working with a chiropractor who's a nutritionist. We have determined that for the majority of my family, wheat is like not beneficial and isn't being digested well for some of us. So we just all became gluten-free for the most part. And I probably have the most extreme reactions. And if I would have been formally tested and diagnosed, I don't know, it might have registered as celiac, but I didn't want to go there because I don't like labeling illnesses. And I do believe the body can change. I do believe in all kinds of miracles. But for me, at this point, it's been about 4 or 5 years, I still don't eat gluten. And once in a while, I'll have like oats or something just to give it a try, not wheat. And I noticed like, still not working for me. And that's okay. So for a long time, I fought that. And I'm like, power of belief. I'm going to believe that I can. But at this point, it's not worth the aggravation, that mental aggravation. And the diet that I've adopted is so much better. And I feel so much better. So I'm going to stick with that. So pretty much we do, we stick to like a modified paleo diet. And paleo actually takes out all grains. But for my family, we do incorporate brown rice. At times, I do buy gluten-free oats. At times, maybe some buckwheat. But we're not heavy on the grains at all. So it's very like minimal, maybe once a week. I buy like a brown rice noodle to add to some soup or something. But eating a low grain diet, I feel like helps the body overall, and that works for us. So maybe your body is similar to mine, and you'll find like what I'm sharing here, the paleo diet of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, high quality meats. So lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. You'll find that that is also really good for you. So tip 1, learn to make good soup. Learn to make really good soups. So I would pick out maybe 3 soups that you really like, that your family likes, and you might want to experiment. Well, you probably will have to, and just, you know, try a few to find the ones that work the best. And make large amounts, like a big pot at a time that you can freeze half, because most soups that you're going to buy have either cornstarch, which is not gluten, but I do avoid cornstarch, or wheat to thicken the broth. Now, I have the wonderful fortune of having a little shop near me where they do not use gluten in anything, and they make these really delicious soups. And so when I am short on time, I go and buy soup there. They have it in a freezer section, and it's wonderful. But most places that I go do not have soup that isn't thickened with some kind of wheat or gluten kind of product, or has like a gluten noodle. So you want to learn how to make some good soup that you'll enjoy, that you can have in the freezer or on hand. Tip 2, learn to love your salads. And there are so many delicious salads, and I usually use a base of either cabbage, radicchio, all kinds of greens, all kinds of lettuces, or even like broccoli salad or cauliflower salad, but a basic salad base. So being paleo doesn't mean you eat like tons and tons of meat. I use meat in the sort of like seasoning, or like on top of my salad or the side of my salad, but salads are like the base of our diet, and really good salads. And I guess just expanding on that, the dressing I feel like is key. And for us, the staple dressing ingredients that I always have: extra virgin olive oil, Bragg's apple cider vinegar, Bragg's Aminos. I do usually carry a balsamic. I'll put all of these in the description down below. Lemon, Italian seasonings, and sea salt and pepper. Now, I don't use all of those ingredients every time, but those are my staple ingredients that I use to make my dressings. Honey is also a good ingredient to have. Sometimes I use a little bit of mayonnaise and maybe a little bit of maple syrup. And like I said, I will list that down below for you. The third thing that I want to say as a tip is brown rice. So brown rice, no gluten, or maybe like wild rice or black rice, but not the bleached, enriched white rice. You want a rice that has fiber, has the minerals in and attached to the grain. I always soak the rice first, but learning to incorporate some brown rice into your diet. And I want to say that just because you're not eating gluten, don't overdo the rice. Like, this is something like we will have like Spanish rice like once a week, or I'll buy gluten-free breads that have brown rice as a main ingredient. But brown rice, another tip, incorporate that. Get your family interested in brown rice, and there's a lot of different recipes you can find for brown rice. So I'm going to stop in my list. I have two more tips there, but I'm going to interrupt with a little commercial. So I have talked about my book a few times, but not in any recent videos. This is called The Story of the Gluten-Free Kid. So I wrote this story, and I illustrated the cover with watercolor and pen, and a number of the illustrations inside. But my kids, my four boys, helped also illustrate. And having a background as an art teacher, I've worked with my children from a young age to draw, and they're excellent artists. They sell their art on eBay, which is also one of my links in my link wall. But this is a story about a goat family, and that's why it's called The Story of the Gluten-Free Kid. And it's a story that I hope to turn into a series of books. But for this first one, it's kind of like introducing the family and talking about how the kids manage without gluten. Because having kids, I found it very difficult to transition my the dietary desires from gluten, especially with my oldest, to foods that had no gluten. So in this particular story, it goes into a scenario where there's pizza involved and what the children would do instead of having regular pizza like everyone. And I include my own recipe for gluten-free pizza. And I've even taken this with me when we go places. Now a lot of like mainstream pizza places do carry gluten-free pizza, which is awesome. So I don't always have to make it. But this book on Amazon, check it out. I'm linking it right down below, and I'm going to get back to my list. So tip number 4, bring snacks. So wherever you go, bring snacks along, because you never know, and more than likely there's going to be snacks that are wheat, whether it's goldfish or crackers or bread or whatever, unless it's somewhere you've been a bunch of times and you know they have what you need. Bring a bag of snacks everywhere you go, for yourself, for your kids. It just makes it so much easier. And I keep glancing at my list. So the last tip, tip 5, is learn new favorites. Make it a point to develop these new favorite foods or dishes or meals, because it makes it so much easier to not miss certain foods that maybe you loved. So for instance, I would say that one of my favorites, now my favorites now are they're healthy favorites, and where before it was like pizza, stromboli, I love berries. So just like having a bowl of berries, I love coconut cream, a scoop of coconut cream, one of my favorites. I love salad. So like any type of salad, but especially like a mixed green salad with some herbs and like really sliced thin beef, red onions. I love that. I love butternut squash soup with like a little bit of bacon. Love that. I love figs. So these are like healthy foods. It's not like I'm loving like, you know, sandwiches and hoagies and pizza like I used to, or even pastas. I love these like live foods. My palate just has changed, but it's really important to find foods that you love so much so that you can just kind of put the other ones over there and you're not craving them and missing them, and you're feeling great and happy and healthy with the new way that you've changed your diet. So that's the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave a comment. Come back again for another video. Share this channel. I've grown a lot in a year, but I do get comments like, you should have more subscribers. And I feel like I should. So share this. And thank you so much. Bye for now.